Indeed, it is, Leigh-Anne. But we're turning our attention now to the Banting Diet. We spoke about it a little bit earlier on the show today, and this is a very interesting way of dieting because it comprises of high fat, medium protein, and also low carbs. That way of eating, and it says that that's the way to lose weight. It's the newest craze. People are taking to it, but to help us understand this kind of diet a little bit better, we have with us in the studio leigh-anne. She's a nutritional therapist, and also Susie, the editor of Lose It magazine. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, guys. And I'm so glad we're talking about this issue, but I want to know your thoughts on the Banting diet, because I think, especially for women, when it comes to dieting, hearing that you need to add high fat into your diet, I mean, how do you view it? What is the deal?
It's best to go for fatty cuts of meat, to eat things like bacon and butter, very, very nutritious.
Okay.
And you can use things like lard to cook your food in as well. It's very easy to do and very tasty.
And I think the principle is women are always resistant to high fat, but actually it's a return to the way that people ate a long time ago. I think that people think it's a new diet or a new way of eating, because I don't like calling it a diet, because actually it really is one of those lifestyles, and it's very easy to maintain.
Okay, so it's more focused on a lifestyle kind of change.
Yeah, but it has been around for years.
Right.
So it's actually just a return to the way that we used to eat.
Give us a brief background in terms of history when it comes to the Banting diet.
Well, I think the first time it was mentioned was William Banting, wasn't it? That was the first time it was actually written down. And leigh-anne was just saying that people now go and visit his birthplace, and it's become a bit of a pilgrimage. And we will talk about that now. But it's also been in Sweden for years, for about 10 years. In the 60s, there was a book called The Drinking Man's Diet, which was basically Banting.
Yes.
But William Banting is kind of the interesting one. That's where he became.
So that's where it all started. And I know, I mean, it's proven successful. A lot of celebrities has taken to this kind of diet. Matthew McConaughey, he has been dieting or following the Banting. McConaughey following the Banting kind of eating. Sharon Osbourne as well, Demi Moore, and also Jennifer Aniston. And we all can agree that Jennifer Aniston always looks amazing. So whatever she does, well, it's working. But the Banting diet, in terms of being successful, what are your thoughts on it? Does it really work?
It absolutely works, yes. But leigh-anne knows more about the actual nutrition aspect of it and why it works differently for men and women, because it does.
Okay, so there is a difference. Yeah. Explain that for us a little bit.
Okay, men have got a lot of testosterone, which also helps to lose a lot of weight extremely easily, but estrogen is more of a fat-storing hormone, so we have a little bit of a difficult time with it. But basically, I found that women do better coming off dairy products. They mustn't have a lot of nuts, and they must snack all the time. And if they do those three things and follow the high-fat, medium-protein, low-carb diet, they will lose weight and they will feel fantastic. So we've been doing this for about 20 years. I mean,
so it
really works.
Proven to work over the last couple of years. What are some of the food do's and don'ts? How do people approach it?
Well, it's generally, as leigh-anne says, it is high fat, so you have to really concentrate on that, and you have to stop eating anything that's low fat.
Is it any type of fat, or like we said, is it a specific kind of fat? Because here we have olive oil, we have some butter, and also you mentioned bacon, which is a good source of fat.
Yeah, well, animal fats are excellent, and so are some oils, but you have to watch out for others. The seed oils, isn't that right, leigh-anne?
Yes, those toxic seed oils. Any oil out of a seed you don't want to have, because it's very unstable and it oxidizes very easily, and it's a damaged fat. So something like an olive oil is fine, and a macadamia oil and an avocado oil. Those are about the only three that I really like. And then everything else you want to get out of saturated fats, because they are full of nutrition. And a lot of people think that fat is something that you can throw away, but actually it's packed full of nutrients, and it makes you feel wonderful as well. So any of the animal fats are fine.
And it makes your brain function perfectly fat as
well,
which is very
If you get the healthy fats, it really helps as well.
But grains are a no-no. And that's,
All right, so there seems to be so much to talk about. leigh-anne and Susie, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Just giving us a little bit more insight into the Banting way of eating, can I say. But give us your thoughts on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. What do you think of the Banting diet? And if you are following it, how is it working for you? We're going to take a quick ad break and be back after these.